because in my mind, I have expenses that when I'm planning whatever, spending money on whatever, let's say buy a new car, I already in the back of my head had expenses that need to be taken care of, or responsibilities. What if I have kids of my own? What if I have a mortgage? What if I have this? What if I have... So all that is already inside I need to know all that about you.
Right.
You know, but it's not, hi, hello, what's your mortgage?
Right.
You know, it's like, well, why do you fill this out?
Yep.
And then gain trust and have a conversation.
All right, welcome to TNL. Got Silvana Pajor-Flores.
Yes, sir.
Got it right. Got all of it with us today. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you're kicking ass. You did over 500 last year. Well, you kind of blamed this on Ed. It was like $4.99 and change.
I didn't tell him. I didn't blame him.
Just kidding. But there was like one policy that put you over.
Yes.
So I'm saying you're at 500K last year.
Thank you.
Which is awesome. And most you've ever sold, right?
Yes, that's amazing.
And you made a huge transition from predominantly mortgage to now predominantly IULs, right? Selling virtual. Are you doing Zoom appointments?
Appointments.
All Zoom. Are you doing one call close? Are you setting appointments? What's your strategy?
So since we're doing IULs for growth, for future, et cetera, I like explaining everything to the client. So we do Zooms to see growth, to see like the extent of what they can do with the policy. It's not a just one call close.
Got it.
I don't know how to do it.
That's not your style. No.
No, it's not.
No. Well, whatever you're doing is working. So let's talk about a few things. Really, you know, we did a True Talk this past week, and we were talking a lot about, towards the end, the mindset. And I think mindset is everything, right? And I think that's the biggest thing you have to teach agents to help them become successful in the business. Like, it's not, you know, how you run the quotes or how you talk about the product. You need to have some product now, but at the end of the day, the mindset, the presumptiveness that you need to have going into the appointment, I think is what will set you up to either succeed or fail.
So mindset is for everything, anything you do in life.
True.
You know, especially here.
Yep.
You're just chasing a goal, right? So mindset, what you're capable of doing comes with that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be a victim or if you're going to, you know, figure it out and just get moving.
Right. Absolutely. I remember early on when I first started working with Sean, I didn't come from a sales background. I was a construction guy, right? And first set of leads he gave me, I got the stack of like everyone's old leads, you know, everyone gets started. And I'm at my house dialing. I probably dialed like 20 minutes, right? Didn't book any appointments. Had a couple people hang up on me. So I called Sean. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? He didn't tell me what to say on the phone. He said, grab your leads, go in the bathroom. I'm like, what the hell? Look in the mirror and tell yourself you book everyone you speak to. Tell yourself they asked for help. Tell yourself that they wanted you to call. They asked for help, and it's your job to help them. And I'm like, that sounds ridiculous. But, but I'm like, hey, you know what? What do I have to lose, right? I feel like an idiot in front of the mirror for 5 minutes, and if I don't go book some appointments, then I can prove them wrong, right? But just that shift in mindset helped me dramatically to the point where now I'm booking some appointments from people that have already told me no, but it's all up here. And the same thing, that same mindset, that presumptiveness you need to have when you're in the appointment too. You talked about, like, I'm not in sales, I'm just taking orders, right? So take a few minutes, Silvana, and break down from your point of view, first of all, why that's so important, and then how to have that proper mindset and presumptiveness when you're running your appointments.
Well, why it's so important to be in a good or have a good mindset? Well, everything stems from that. Just think about it. If your child is in a building that is on fire, you're going to do everything to get in that building, right?
Correct.
So there's no second thought. I sound stupid. I don't know the outlay of the building. You're just going to go in and get it done.
Yep.
Right? What makes it easier here is that they ask for something. So what's important about the mindset? Man, you're a winner, you're a loser. You know? Either you're going to find an excuse or you're going to find a problem to every solution that is given to you. Or you're just going to toughen up and just do it.
Yeah.
You know, we're learning every day. So the mindset is not that you just wake up one day, you know, I'm a winner, I'm going to conquer the world. It is a process,
Right.
you know, and it starts with self-worth. I didn't have that,
Okay.
you know.
When was that you didn't have that? Early on in your career?
Early on in my life,
In your life,
altogether,
yeah.
altogether. You know, I knew I was a good athlete, you know, but I was just looking at small things. But why would you buy from me? Why would you be my boyfriend? Why would you want to be with me? Whatever I got to offer, I didn't know what I had to offer, right? So I started reading books. Once I came here and started Sean talking, first of all, he's intimidating.
Yeah.
Right? So reminding me of my dad a little bit. He talks and you shut up.
Yeah.
But he was saying so much value that you got to hear the same thing so many times throughout your life, not Sean or a book or whatever, because you pick up on different things. And in those different things, when you understand that you're just helping people, you're not in there because you're selling, right? The same way, when you're at Walmart or whatever you work, you got a job to do, right? If you take pride in what you do and you feel good. My mama once told me when I first came to America, whatever you do, be the best at it. Even if you're cleaning toilets, that toilet has to be the cleanest one. And those little things is what we feed ourselves. It's what create that mindset. For me, it's essential in anything you do. Being a good parent, either you're complaining about something you have no control over or you're making it happen. Single moms, man.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'll hire recruit every single mom that exists here because they will figure it out. There's no plan B. Right? And that comes with mindset.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
No, it's a great point. It's not mindset just as it pertains to life insurance, because if you live that in every, spot in your life, then you don't have to turn it on and off, right? It's just there. If that's how you approach taking care of your kids, dealing with your family, work around the house, whatever your workout, your diet, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then when it comes time to talk to a client, meet with a client, it's just second nature, right?
It's a second, and that mindset is not that mindset for best. It's mindset altogether.
Yeah.
Just do your best. I mean, finding self-worth, finding what else can you give. It's not about what you take. It's what you give, and what's the consequence of what you give is how we get paid.
Yeah.
But you first got to give, your best to your kids, to your parents, to your siblings, to your husband, to your clients. Once you're 100% for them, even if you have to tell them no, there are plenty of clients that I told no because it was not the right thing for them to do at that moment.
Right.
So we'll find a plan B. Why we're not going to do an IUL, we're going to do this other thing because it's better for you.
Yeah.
Got
it.
But because I wouldn't do that for my mom, why would I do that for you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You said initially that you didn't have self-worth when you were younger, early on. You do now. How did you go from not having self-worth to having self-worth?
I started reading, man.
Yeah.
I started, through reading and feeding good stuff to my mind, first and foremost, I was allowed, to say, I'm enough.
Yeah.
I'm good. I will make mistakes, but I stopped judging myself. I'm not my mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm all of it. So I am what I do with those mistakes. How do I move forward? In time of panic. Not all in panic. Panic can be a small thing or a huge thing. So by reading, by associating myself with positive people, not just positive, people that are working every single day to become better, The business is just one part of it, but just being a better human being, a better fitted, in your mind, you're a better father, you're a better brother, a better son, a better, husband, wife. So it comes all together. So I started with reading and associating myself with the people or that I kind of wanted to become like them.
Yeah.
Not just, it started with the money. Hey, these guys are making a lot of money. But once we pass the money, what kind of behaviors, values do these people have?
Right.
Is this dude making, $5 million a month and, cheating on his wife and being an absent father?
Right.
Or, dude, Mark mid. Like the leaders of this organization, they bless their wife. And for me, that was really important. You know, they were like praising family and love and their support system.
Yeah.
You know, and that it's not just out of nowhere.
You got to surround yourself by people who are in life where you want to be.
Yeah.
If that's your goal. Like, you look at your closest friends. Like, the guy told me this early on in a different company, same industry. They said, take the 5 or 6 people around you, average their income, and that's going to be yours, right?
Yeah,
and that's pretty damn accurate. So if you are where you're in a spot where you don't want to be, the first thing you got to do is redefine your associations. And this means across the board. Family members, friends.
Oh, my God, yes.
Like, you get one shot to do this. You want to waste it hanging around a bunch of negative people who are broke?
Peer pressure is good. Just pick the peer pressure that you're willing to go for. I mean, a lot of people that I know, they're succeeding so much right now with FFL. I was having this conversation with Ellie. There's certain people that if they were not given the opportunity to be here, they would have been a F up in life.
Absolutely.
Because that's the behavior of the people that were hanging out with. And now their life changed completely. Not their bank account. Right. Their life.
Their life. Yep.
Their priorities, their values.
Yep.
So that is part of mindset.
And I can promise you ain't going to miss those people.
Oh, heck no.
In the moment, you're like, but Silvana's my friend. I've known him since 2nd grade. Or it's my cousin. We're so close. We're this, we're that. Yeah, but negativity spreads. Misery loves company. That you cannot hang around with negative people and not be negative.
No, it's not only being negative. You're just living. It's like let me give you an analogy. It's like a ladder, right? The higher up, the steps higher that you take, the less people you're gonna encounter.
Correct.
So you have 2 options there. You lower your standards and go a step below, or you just keep pushing to the next level. What do you want out of life? You know?
Yep.
So there are people that you might love. It's not that they're negative. They're just not at your level. And it's okay. It's okay. Nothing negative.
Nope.
It is just, people that tell me, oh, you need some work-life balance. Oh, my God. I want to punch them in the face. I do have it. You know, this year I'm taking 3 vacations. All 3 of them are going to be paid for. So I didn't... You know, I went a month to Argentina. I went to Colombia. I'm going to Bahamas. I'm going with FFL to Cancun. Right?
You already qualified?
Last year.
Last year.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, of course.
Yeah. Like, why did I even ask?
So, tell me, when was your last vacation? You're waiting for those 2 weeks that you get in 1 year.
Correct.
After your 30 cents raise at work, and you're telling me work-life balance?
Yeah.
Let's talk when you go on 3 vacations. And again, it's nothing negative. Just I choose my balance because I have the choice to do that. Thank God for this organization and this job and this industry. That is my work-life balance. If I have to work until 10 p.m., I will do so. Yeah. Because I know what I'm building.
Right. Talk to me about the posture on the phone, because that's a big deal, right? Me and you could be saying the same exact thing. But if you're confident, if you're presumptive, and I'm insecure and not confident about it, you're going to help the family. I'm not going to. It's not what you say, right? I feel like a lot of times brand new agents always ask the wrong question. Well, what do I say when you get what?
What's the script?
It's not what you say. It's this, right? So talk to me about, in your opinion, what is the right posture on the phone?
Well, just first of all, for new agents, you got to understand the process. If you're working in our organization with Juan, with everyone in our team, someone just saw a video that is almost 3 minutes long. Right. Right. And they decided to, Facebook is going to copy their name, their email, their phone number, right, their date of birth. But they got to fill out even more questions, right? There is a lot of involvement, right? So after watching 3 minutes and then you're putting your phone down for me to call you, I'm just going to see why you filled it out. Yeah. Right? We're taking orders. I said that before. In our reality, I don't sell anything. Yeah. I fix problems. Yeah. I just need to know what your problem is. Financial problems, right? So, hey, Mike? Yeah. Hey, Mike. Just Silvana here, giving you a quick call. My office received that form you filled out. It looks like you're looking into tax-free retirement, figure out ways to, become wealthy, avoid giving the government a big chunk of your paycheck
Yep.
later down the road. I'm pretty sure you remember that,
Yeah,
right?
I remember that. I was trying
Awesome.
to get some information. Yeah.
Quick question, being curious here. What call your attention? What attracted you to fill that out? Just talk me through it.
The tax-free
The
retirement
tax-free?
part. Yeah.
Got it. And looks like you are 43?
Yes.
Got it. So you're paying a lot of taxes right now?
Yeah.
Got it. What do you do for work?
I'm in the construction business.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man. So you have your own business?
Yes,
Or
yep.
Oh, congratulations. That's pretty hard.
Yeah.
How long you been in business for?
About 15 years.
Oh, man. That's awesome. Okay. So you have your crew, I guess, or it's just you, a one-person
No, I
operation?
got a crew, about 10 guys.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so you're being killed with taxes.
Yes,
I totally understand
absolutely.
that. Yeah. So I take it that, of course, the tax-free, growth later down the road. Do you have anything in place right now?
No, I have nothing.
No. So you're a business owner, so most likely you're not going to have a 401k,
Nope.
an IRA. Got it. Do you have a CPA that kind of talks you through, help you out?
Yes. Yep.
Man, okay, got it. There are a lot of benefits for the IUL, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Not only we do IUL, I want you to understand we're an agency that we provide financial solutions. In order for me to help you and even see if I can help you, let's jump on Zoom.
Okay.
So I share my computer screen
Yeah.
where not only you will understand better, but I want you to ask me as many questions as you could, because this is for your future. This is for,
Mm-hmm.
later down the road, do you think taxes are going to go up or down?
Probably up.
Okay. So if you're a business owner, you're probably 37% right now.
Yep.
You happy about that?
No, not at all.
Got it. If I'm able to help you to get it down to zero, that's pretty cool.
Yes, that would
Got
be
it.
great.
There are a lot of questions that need to happen
Yeah.
in between. This thing that I do, it's like going to a doctor. I mean, this is an involved phone call, of
Sure.
course. No, I don't use everything, but
Right.
it's like going to a doctor, Mike, okay? You might go with a lower back pain to a doctor. I might go to a lower back pain. This is my job, the same as a doctor. The doctor is going to ask you so many questions to understand what's happening to your body, because probably you have sciatica problems and I have kidney issues.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the solution is going to be the same?
Not at all.
Okay, I need to know you first
Yeah.
and what your situation is, and then I'll help you from there.
Got it. So you do that every appointment.
That is not all of it, but
Yeah,
the
but that
questions.
overall-
I already started getting your pain points. I
Yep.
need to know you.
Yeah.
I have clients that I'm working on a case right now. Why? The guy has $8.5 million qualified accounts, 1.7 non-qualified accounts. He already has life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you fill it out?
Right.
I need to know where you are so I talk your language.
Yeah.
And now you will. It's like have so many functions, the
Right.
Swiss Army knife.
And one thing I want to point out, no part of that process were you ever checking interest or asking if it was okay. Like, I think we, especially when we're new, we set up unnecessary roadblocks. We got the lead. We got the appointment, right? Whether you're in home, whether you're virtual, you're on the phone with the client who filled out the lead asking for life insurance, and we're waiting for permission. Basically, like, hey, do you want to buy something today?
The second they filled it out, that was your permission.
Correct.
And if you need to ask some hard question, ask for permission. Hey,
Yeah.
Mike, can I be honest with you? Is that okay if I treat you like if you were my brother?
Yes.
Let me tell you why I'm asking you that. My brother's pretty dumb sometimes. So when he's saying something stupid, I got to call him out on that. I'm not going to call you dumb, but
Right.
if you're saying something that it doesn't make sense, I will point it out. Is
Yep.
that fair?
Absolutely.
Period. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the doctor in this appointment.
Correct.
I'm the professional. I started to have this license. I read all these books. I don't know what's best for you in life.
Right.
But if you tell me what you need money to do for you, there are a lot of things that I can help you with.
Yeah.
So I'm building my position as the professional, but also I know. I mean, I read a lot. I keep training. Just not to go too far.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago, I had 33 appointments booked. 3 people showed up.
Really?
Oh, my God. So immediately after that, on Tuesday, we have a new agent training over Zoom. I attended,
Yeah.
not as the pro.
No.
I attended just like, okay, tell me what I'm missing,
Yeah.
right? Because that's mindset too.
Yeah.
It's like acknowledging when you're not doing something.
What'd you
well.
learn? What were you doing wrong that week?
I was not being good at solidifying the appointment
Okay.
or building that hype,
Got it.
you know. I was setting a lot of quick set appointments.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, oh, I'm at work. Call me later. No worries, no worries. What time you get home? How about we do a Zoom at 8 p.m.? Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're like, I got an appointment. It's not an appointment. Yeah.
And I just mess up. Just acknowledge, and what do I do with it?
Right.
So when someone feels something else, they don't know. They're already scared.
Correct.
Talking to someone over the internet that they never met before, like, yeah, they're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You're the pro. How many times you went to the first time you went to a doctor? Did you trust a doctor? Yeah, because they have a degree, right?
Right.
That's your license.
Yep.
Right? And if you keep training, becoming better, you came here to, thank God, do you think that every mechanic is a good mechanic? No. Agents is the same. You're blessed that I'm helping you today. Yeah. Attitude. I don't say that, but that's an attitude.
Yes.
And it comes with repetition. It comes by asking for help, by learning.
Yep. And I believe that, I will never say anybody can do this because, like, there's some people that just, they can't, they won't, right? But if you are here with us, you've joined us, you have a license, anybody can have that mindset and attitude. You can work towards that. Well, what if I just started? Who cares? You have a license. You still have something that client doesn't have. I don't care if it's your first appointment.
True. What this is what new agents are probably doing. They're just focusing on the product knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
That's what we're there for. Give me a call.
Right.
I'll tell you what to do. We will have those many trainings,
Correct.
those many boot camps,
Yep.
right? So forget about yourself, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just go and talk to another human being about their needs. They already watch a video for 3 minutes. Who watch a video for 3 minutes?
Right.
And then put their number and phone number.
Yeah,
And
that's a huge thing is knowing your clients. Like back in the day, it was mostly direct mail. Yeah. So it was thousands of mailers going out. Most people just throw them in the trash, right? You had to have someone open up the mailer, fill out all their personal information, seal it back up, then bring it to a post office somewhere, send it out, right? They had to put their number, the correct number on there. They had to answer the phone when you called, book an appointment with you, and then they're there when you get there.
And they put the date of birth. Who
date
shares
of
the
birth?
date of birth in the mailer?
Yo, we used to get leads that had social security numbers on them. Like, we didn't even ask for it. What the hell are you putting your social on a mailer for?
Yeah.
Height and weight. Females put their height and weight. Like, all stuff that,
I never got one of those.
You never got one of those? Oh, I
mine.
got plenty of those. But they did all that. And to your point now, well, Mike, we're not doing direct mail. I know, but you get someone who got a video online, right? They came across it somehow. They decided to watch 3 minutes of this video. Then from there, they clicked on a link. They put all their personal information on some online form with their phone number. Then they answered when you called them, and then they were there at your appointment time. They did all that, and you're going to tell me that they're not interested in life insurance?
Right. Well, your job is not to mess it up.
No, exactly.
You already showed everything. It's like going to, again, the buying a new phone.
Yeah.
And there's like, no, don't buy this phone.
Right.
Like, you're already there to buy.
Correct.
It's just a matter of, I think that new agents are too focused on product knowledge, which is absolutely necessary.
It's necessary.
Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But
you got to have the other stuff first.
Yeah. Well, you're just there to help someone. Just fix a problem, right?
Correct.
It's not about I don't know what product. When I call them, I don't know what product. I don't know if they even qualify for an IUL.
Right.
I don't care. You're looking for a solution. You're going to listen to me, and you're going to get the solution I tell you after I know what your problem is, not before.
And, I'm sure there's somebody watching going, Mike, I said the same stuff Silvana says. I just didn't. Yeah, but did you say it that way? Because you weren't crazy excited. You weren't down and depressed like, hey, Mike. You were right here the whole time. It was professional, but also not, you didn't sound like a telemarketer. It was just right here. And you asked everything. You asked every question as if you knew I was going to answer, right? Not like, hey, would it be okay if you told me? Just, how long have you done that for? What business are you in? What tax bracket are you? Just like you would if I went to the doctor, right?
I'm guiding the conversation. Yeah, I mean, if you're new, you're not going to get to that point overnight.
Correct.
Right? But understanding just a few nuggets of how, if someone's looking for a retirement, just read about retirement. Get to know retirement. Talk to your parents. Talk to someone that has a 401k. How does it work? Just get to know a little bit. And what are the pain points? Talk to us. We're here for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it just, you feel it. I mean, it's just simple. It just keep saying the same thing. You ask for my help.
Right.
You know? So it's like, what are you trying to do? Why do you fill it out? Why do you fill it out?
Yep.
In other words, and why now? Why not yesterday? Why not 5 years ago? Because you're already 43. Why not at 37? People come to America, they start contributing to a 401k when first job.
Yep.
So you waiting until you're 43?
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, trying to understand how it all works, you know?
Yeah, and if it's there, ask it. Like, dude, you're 62. You never thought about life insurance? Like, why'd you wait?
It's okay. That is a question that I would ask.
Right?
I don't shy away. I don't, kind of walk around it. Yep. It's like, man, you're 64. You just told me, let's go to this other case that just happened before coming here.
Yeah.
47-year-old guy, first thing he jumps on tells me, I make a lot of money, but I spend a lot of money, and I have a trucking company, so in 2020, whatever, I make almost $400,000, but you know what I did? I went and bought Porsche and Beamers. It's like, cool.
Right.
I'm just like taking notes. If he said Porsche, I'm writing Porsche.
Okay.
If he said Beamer, I'm writing Beamer. I'm not saying BMW, I'm saying Beamer.
Yep.
Right? I'm using your language.
Right.
Okay, it's like, and I'm curious why you feel it out. What's happening? Why now? It's like, what you have for retirement already? Well, nothing. Okay, you're 47. You made $400,000, and you have nothing saved up for your future.
Yeah.
With that, like, kind of surprise.
Right.
So, well, what happened was, I toned out. What happened was, it's like, okay, what are you going to do if you're not talking to me today? Because I don't want you to just find a salesperson to sell you something.
Right.
What are you currently doing? I mean, what's your goal? I mean, $400,000 a year, to get that income, to sustain that lifestyle is going to be expensive. Mm-hmm. So walk me through. Like, just blah, 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 blah. He might sell his trucking business. He's about to get his barber license, which school, different, complete 180. Sure. But also he might move to Asia. Okay, man. Let me can I be honest with you? Yes. Okay. You don't know what you're doing with your life. And I'm rooting for you, whatever you decide to do. But even if you go to Asia, if that is the option, like, you don't even qualify for an annual. But like, what are you looking into saving, towards retirement? Well, like $100. Man, you make $400,000 and you tell me you have $100 a month? Let's do math real quick. If you put $100 a month, like, forget about the cost of life insurance. In 1 year, that's $1,200, and then in 10 years, that's $12,000. If you're lucky enough, that doubles, you have 24. If it triples, you have 36. Tell me how it took you 10 years to have $36,000. Tell me how can you retire? How long? So let's be honest. Can we have a conversation that's serious about your future? Because if you tell me that, like, I'm tapping out, and I'm like, that's not serious.
Right.
You don't know what you want to do with life. I can help you once you know what you want to do. We'll create a plan together. I told him no. I'm not wasting my time with that.
And these are obvious. It's like the elephant in the room that people don't want to address.
Yeah.
I remember I had this appointment once. Guy was missing a finger. He knows he's missing a finger. Like, what most people do is they stare at it. Right?
Yeah, like
they won't ask, right?
Try to look down.
They're looking,
so
like he knows you're staring at his finger. Then he's gonna sign, and it's right there. So and this is stuff like Sean always said. Yeah, Sean always said, "Hey, address the elephant in the room," right? So I'm like sitting at the table as I put the lead down, put my bag down. Before I even sit down, I go, "Yo, what happened to your finger?" He goes, "Shark bit it off," like joking around, And then he's like, "No, he was a machinist or something, and accident." So we talk about that a little bit, but it broke the ice.
Yeah.
Now he trusts me even more. Like, that's weird. No, because I didn't his finger's been missing for years.
Yeah.
He knows what happened. I'm not making fun of him. I'm not pointing out something he didn't know. I'm curious. Just like your guy, well, dude, you made $400 grand, you only put $100 away. Like, why? What most people do? They go, okay, $100. I'll write you one up for $100. And then a good agent comes behind you and replaces it because that's not going to it's not going to meet his needs.
Yeah.
Just
it's
address
like,
it.
again, the doctor tells you, hey, you have cancer, you got to do chemo.
Yeah.
Well, but how about I just take aspirin?
Right. No, you'll die.
Like, okay, go and die. I'm not getting involved.
But you want your doctor to lie? Go, that's a good idea. No, Silvana, if you do that, you will die. So let's maybe do the treatment.
If you choose to die, that's fine. That's not my life.
Right.
But sounds stupid. What you're saying sounds stupid. So find ways of saying that.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Because I don't want 10 years to go by and you have, you know, more than enough.
Sure.
Based on the $100, but it's like you're broke.
Yep.
The other thing that I tell people is like, okay, man, not that particular one. Hey, when you turn 80, okay, how many times you go into Walmart and you saw the 75-year-old grader?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, no disrespect to them, but I don't want to be doing that at 75.
Correct.
Right? Do you? No. Okay. So you save right now when you can and have a job, or plan to be at Walmart if Walmart's still around. I don't know what could happen to Walmart, you know,
Right.
or be at Walmart at the age of 80 just because you didn't save enough today. You told me
Correct.
you're retired already. You want to do that at 80?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we be real on that?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yes, ever stand me with a question. Now we're ready to be real. I
Right.
didn't say to buy anything.
No.
You know, but if you come at 60, $100 a month, it's like, I love you, but what you want?
Right.
You know, the cost of insurance is already too high.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. And what you'll learn is when you do just address the elephant in the room, it's never as bad as you think it's going to be.
no.
Most people are not that sensitive. Like, because you're not being rude. It's pointing out the obvious. Dude, you're 75 and you want to cover your whole mortgage it's not going to happen, dude. Like, knock it off. You're 80 and you have health conditions and you're wondering why we have to go graded. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you had a heart attack 2 years ago. Like, you're lucky I can do anything for you.
Right.
But here's why it makes sense. Instead of, oh, yeah, no, I know you really wanted to get to.
Well, instead of saying that mortgage protection, in that case, 75-year-old health issues are not health issues. It's like, let's do this together. Okay. You have a 30-year mortgage, right? So you're going to be how old in 30 years?
100.
5. Not 100.
Yeah.
105.
75. Yeah, 105.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you do have health issues. Do you think you're going to last until 105?
No.
With all due respect. Okay. So when you pass the house on to your beneficiaries, right? Who's your beneficiary? Your wife, your kids. At that point, typically it's going to be their kids,
Yep.
right? Do they have their home? Yes or no? Do you want to burden them with this $300,000 home? Or do you want to make it easier for them to have enough time to
Correct.
figure out what they want to do with the home? It's not about life insurance.
Right.
What is the process? What is the problem? Or what is the solution?
Correct.
Man, I love you, but you know, for you to insure it this much, it's going to cost you what, $3,000 a month, which is ridiculous. I wouldn't do that for my mom. I wouldn't do it for you. But if we think about the problem here, is your kids getting this house the second you died? So let's make sure they can pay down the mortgage for 6 months, for a year, so
Right.
they have the chance to grieve you. Do you think that's good enough for them to have to grieve you and then figure out what they want to do with the house?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so let's be real here. Let's find something that is in your budget. Period. I just made a sale without talking about life
Right.
insurance.
Yep. No, 100%. It's
What
solving
we
problems.
do is a solution.
Yep. Yep. It's a solution-based conversation.
Yeah.
It ain't a sale.
Yep.
To your point, when that's what attracted you, you saw the lead. You're like, wait a
Oh,
minute.
yes.
They fill this out. You telling that story, if you haven't seen the True Talk, check that out. But it's very similar to Sean's story of how he got started. He's real estate, trying to buy a house, and the guy's like, you should sell life. He's like, yeah. Then he showed him leads. He's like, oh, shit. How many of these you got? Yeah, how many can I get, you know?
True.
Absolutely. But it's because, and I think it's hard. Like, I didn't come from sales, so I never had to cold call. I never called these bait and switch type leads, but I was also smart enough or whatever enough to understand what we had here, because you just look at the numbers, like especially when we started the company, started doing our own mailing, and like you get less than 1% back. What does that mean? It means this percentage of the population's interested.
Really.
You're not
interesting.
dealing with the 99.5% of the people that are not interested. We're not calling them. Other companies are calling them and trying to do bait and switch shit. We're talking to the people that actually expressed interest. I don't care what kind of lead, if the lead's 5 years old, if it's direct mail, if it's internet, if it's IUL, if it's final expense, whatever it is, you need to look at that lead as a client that raised their hand and said, I need some help.
Yeah.
Our clients are people that have problems but don't know how to solve these problems by themselves.
Or what the options are.
They don't even know what the options are.
Yep.
When I turned 16, I got my license. I drove my car that I bought, had no insurance on it. I drove it to AAA and got insurance. I didn't fill shit out online.
Right.
Like, you also can't look at your clients the same way. You can't look at the way they do things the same way you do. I would never feel I know. So don't approach your client like you're trying to sell yourself. It's a different demographic. These are people that are actively going, hey, I need help.
Yep.
Most of our agents are not those people. They're the guy like me driving to AAA, go, I need car insurance. Like, how'd you get here? Don't worry about that.
Don't worry.
Yeah, like,
don't
how
ask
much is it going to cost? Like, am I covered now? Yeah. So I can drive home, I'm insured. But I'm not going to fill it out online.
Yeah.
But those are not our clients. Our clients are not driving to you to get life insurance. They're filling it out going, I know I have a problem here. I have no idea what my options are, how to fix it. And that's where we come into play. It's almost
that's where
like
the professional comes to play.
100%. We're problem solvers. We're not insurance salespeople.
Correct.
Look at it that way.
I mean, I get paid when you buy something.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But when you buy something, that we went through a long process to figure out what is the something that you need to fix the problem that you have.
Yep.
You know, don't worry about my pay. Shut up. You work for money too, right? You want to pay bills? I do too. So let's talk about you. I'm here for you.
No problem, Ona. You make money off this. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not here for free.
Yeah.
But I have enough clients. So if you don't buy a policy today, I can still pay my mortgage. I'm good. Like, I have 20 other clients to meet today. So don't think it's a deal breaker. But yes, I'm here to make money. Also help your family find something that fits your needs and your budget. And if we do that, why would you say no?
If I fix your problems, I don't get to the money part.
Right.
Ever. It's like, let's talk over. It's like, once we figure out what works for you, you're going to pick which is the route that you want to go with.
And to your point, you ask enough questions, they tell you.
Oh my God.
Like, the answer is there. They just don't know how to navigate it. You ask enough questions, they tell you what their problem is. They tell you how much money they have to spend. They tell you why it's important. And as long as you find what fits what they're looking for, deal's done.
Correct. That is our fiduciary duty too.
Absolutely.
To find the best thing for the client.
Correct.
There are clients that I told no because none of what I got to offer was good for them. Or because whatever they wanted was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think that my success, if you want to call it, or that I'm doing better, is literally I'm really invested in knowing my client.
Yeah.
I ask so many questions, like if I was doing that policy for myself.
Right.
Because in my mind, I have expenses that when I'm planning whatever, spending money on whatever, let's say buy a new car, I already in the back of my head had expenses that need to be taken care of. Right? Or responsibilities. My niece is coming back, so I already paid for her ticket, but what if I have to pay for that ticket? What if I have kids of my own? What if I have a mortgage? What if I have this? What if I have... So all that is already inside I need to know all that about you.
Right.
But it's not, hi, hello, what's your mortgage?
Right.
It's like, well, why do you fill this out?
Yep.
And then gain trust and have a conversation.
Yep.
There's no sales involved. I have a conversation. It's like, oh, I understand now why you're looking at the IUL.
Right.
Because the IUL will fix this problem, that problem. I use their language, their verbiage, their problems, and the solutions to their problems.
Meet them where they are.
Meet them where they are.
When we were dialing leads to book appointments, if the guy, hello, I'd go, hey, what's up? Right? Like, meet him right where he's at.
Yeah.
If I'm talking about, hello, hey, how's it going? Just right there. I'm still right. I'm not crazy excited. I'm not, hey, Silvana, how's everything today? I'm not sound like a telemarketer. But it's just slow, to the point, ask questions, be assumptive.
Slow, just take time so they can understand what you're saying on the phone. Absolutely necessary.
If you're not selling at the level you want, I guarantee you, it's not something you're saying. It's how you're saying it. It's your mindset.
Or
Start
because
there
you're not
first.
getting involved, or you're just looking transactional.
Right.
I don't want to get paid to have a chargeback tomorrow.
Exactly.
The client has to sell me why I'm their agent. Because otherwise you can go and find another mechanic.
Yep. And it's like if you're trying to get better, make sure you're asking the right questions. I remember we used to dial in our office, and we'd have, every new agent, Sean would encourage them to show up. Sean was great on the phone. I was pretty good on the phone. So he'd have them sit down. Hey, listen to Mike dial. And I'd book, 10 out of 11 appointments. And then you go, you got any questions? You know what their number one question would always be? Hey, what kind of leads are you calling?
Oh my God.
It's not the leads. Give me your leads.
Well, that's the self-worth that I was talking about before,
Absolutely.
It's like, ask me, why did I ask the question the way that or the tone?
Right.
or, or how many times I actually dialed this lead.
Yeah.
Because you just got here 5 minutes ago.
Correct.
Before you got here, I already dialed them 30 more times, between yesterday and today.
So are you asking the right questions in all aspects of what you do?
Or even get together with a manager and ask them, what questions should I be asking?
Right.
I asked Sean so many times, like, what question I should be asking you that I'm not asking? Just because my brain didn't get that far.
Correct.
So help me past my own threshold.
Yeah.
Ask what question I should be asking you as my manager.
Right.
Or what question I should be asking the client, et cetera, et cetera.
The one you shouldn't be asking is when they book a bunch of appointments in front of you is, well, what kind of leads are those? No. Ask, hey, how'd you do that? Like your mindset, that tone. How did you develop that tone? Because that's all it is. We call back then. We weren't virtual. So our booking appointments training was call people up, Silvana, and tell them you're coming to the house. But it was the same thing. It was my job. You tried it. Yes. My job was to get you on the phone, verify that you filled this out. Even if you don't remember, okay, well, I got to get you the information. You work till 6. What time you get off work? I get off at 6. You home by 6:30? Yeah, I'll be out there tomorrow at 6:30. Well, I don't want anyone coming out. Yeah, I don't want to have to come out either, but I'll be out there at 6:30. I got the information. That's it. Tuesday at 6.
Remember Tuesday at 6?
Remember that training? Yeah, we got a shirt. I start wearing those here. But it was just, now, did I book every single person? No. Did I book over 90%? Yes, because I expected to book them.
Yeah.
Once I made that shift that I expected to book everyone I spoke to, you start booking just about everyone you speak to.
And how much more convenient it is nowadays with Zoom.
God.
We have live dials,
right.
so you hear everyone dial.
Yep. You run appointments from your house. Like we used to have to, drive hours.
Come on, it's boring.
It's boring, I'm sure. But I'm like, dude, sometimes you're booking the appointment. You're like, I don't even know where this town is. Like you put it, that's like 2.5, 3 hours away.
When I first moved to Colorado, so I was fairly new with FFL, right? So I would book an appointment, here, and then. There were names that are kind of similar.
Yes.
My next appointment was 2.5 hours away.
Yep.
And I considered going because I was so, so dumb. It's like they told me go to every appointment.
Absolutely.
It's like, and I was going until I called someone. It's like, do I have to go? Because I know dumb.
Right. It's funny you say you flew into Hartford, right?
Yeah.
So I was running the same situation. There's Hartford and then there's New Hartford, okay? I would assume New Hartford's probably next to Hartford, right?
Oh, it's not?
It's not. It's like an hour and a half away. So I was running appointments. I'm running late anyways. And I'm at last appointment. It was like 7 o'clock in New Hartford. And I'm like, it's 7 o'clock now. So I got there at 8:30. The guy was a pain in the ass on the phone, right? So I get there. He's got this 2-mile-long driveway, big house, like not our typical client. I'm like, oh, my God, why am I even here? Because he told me on the phone he's all set. Anyways, I get there, start talking to him. He's got this bird, this giant bird. We're sitting down. So he's like, I'll meet with you, Mike, but I already got this taken care of. I don't even know why you bothered coming out. I'll just out of respect. I'll meet with you. Okay. The bird fell off of like the whatever that shit's called where they sit on. It fell and started having a seizure. So the wife came out, helped the bird. I'm like, what is going on
Do we
here?
sell life insurance
yeah, like
for
we don't have
birds?
any insurance for the bird. But then I started asking questions. I treat it like every other appointment. He pulls out a packet. It was like Lincoln or something. He had I got a financial guy. He's hooked me all up. I'm like, okay. And I didn't write a bunch of annuities. He had a variable annuity, losing all kinds of money. But guy's in his 60s, has heart condition. The only thing he can get is a final expense from a life insurance standpoint. But he's got like a couple $100,000 in these annuities that I said, did you know they were losing money? No, he told me they couldn't. I'm like, look at this word here, variable. You know what that means? That's what you're in. It means it goes up and down. So right now it's going down. And I moved him into couple other annuities. I got him 2 final because he had money. Got him 2 final expense policies. Each was like $250. I walked out of the house with, I think it was like $6-7 grand in life insurance premium and over 200,000 in annuities. And we moved some. And he's like, hey, if this works, I got more that I want to move.
Oh my God!
And I went back.
New Hartford.
New Hartford.
What's his name?
Yeah, exactly. I'll give him to you now. You get him on the way home. But hour and a half out of my, I was an hour and a half late. But I just went in and treated it like every other appointment.
And you wouldn't have known any of that if you didn't ask a question. Or if you wouldn't have, I got to go anyways because they made me go.
And he was a pain in the ass on the phone. Like, I called him several times. They are. Even looking at the lead, I'm like, this house is like, it was like $700,000 mortgage and he's 62. I'm like, this is like, why am I even going? But go to every appointment, he filled that out for a reason.
I had an agent that used to tell me, because he would worry so much about whenever, it's not because he didn't make the sale.
Yeah.
He would get so involved with the families, like, oh my God. And because he we have this deal where it's like after every single appointment, you got to call me, right? We're still in home, so we have car time.
Yep.
And he would get so involved. Either you sell it or don't sell it, you call me because I want to know what happened. So if you sold it, I want to know. I want you to know what you did good. And if you didn't sell it, I want you to know what you did wrong if you did something wrong, right? Because not everyone's going to buy. And I remember he was the same way, you know. I've got kind of fucking sidetracked. I don't know what we're talking about. So he used to say, you know, he didn't sell that one. We worked through because he would suffer if people didn't get the protection they needed, like seriously suffer. Yeah. And we'll work through that. And I remember little by little, he will get out of the appointment, call me, we'll go through it. It's like, Silvana, I earn or I learn. But he, from the bottom of his heart, and I was like, God damn, I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And why it's so important to call right after the appointment. It's like, think about if there's a crime or something. The cops don't show up a week later and question. They want to question you right on the spot, right? Because what happens 2 weeks later? Your story changes, right? No, that wasn't
feelings, your tone,
absolutely.
Your mood.
They want to get as soon as it happens. You don't even have time to make up a story. They get the as close to the truth as they're going to get. Yeah. It's the same thing when you're dealing with agents. Call me the minute you leave that appointment. Yeah. Don't call me later that day, 3 hours later after you already processed it in your head.
You already had another appointment. You already, ate food and you're full and you want to go and take a nap.
And now you have a spin on it, right? Yeah. Now it's the client's fault.
But I did say that. Obviously, you didn't say it.
Correct.
Because otherwise.
The minute you leave, it's so essential. It's so important. But anyway, Silvana, thanks for coming up. I really appreciate you doing this. What's your goal this year for production?
Double,
for real. $1 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going. I mean, this is like the secret of just in my own head. Yeah. My goal is 1.5. But the same thing that we were talking before. I'm shooting for the stars because if I hit $1 million. Yeah, when I hit the $1 million, I'm gonna be happy.
All right. So your goal is 1.5. Your drop dead is $1 million.
750.
750.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a drop dead.
Drop dead 750.
Yeah, but I'm pushing myself, so I do the numbers backwards. Yeah. How much I got to do in a month, in a week, in a day, how many appointments, et cetera, and of course grow the agency and help other agents, experience what I experienced. Yeah. Not just having money in their bank account. That of course is essential. Yep. But just having the peace and freedom and just their head being in a different space so they can go and help their family members. Yep. Just like, forget about the money. We're working for money, but just the rest that comes with it.
And there's levels to it. I remember day one just like hoping to be able to go to a restaurant and not look at the prices, look at the food. Simple stuff like that, right?
Like, I want to shop in life, not just at a restaurant. I don't want to look at the right of the menu. Right. In life altogether.
Absolutely.
I want agents to do that too.
100%. It's a great feeling to have. Yeah. So appreciate it. Thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for checking us out. Make sure you go to flconvention.com, get registered today. We'll be back in Irving, Texas next year. Also, igniteevents.com for June 6th event in Phoenix, Arizona. We appreciate you guys checking us out. Subscribe if you haven't already. You know where to find us every week right here on The Next Level. We'll see you next week.